Okay, so we got the old gasket off, got it all cleaned up, about ready to go back together. That head there, these bolts are a little stubborn. Like Timothy tried to force that one, I'm going to kick his ass. Yeah, I think you did. Anyway, those bolts there, I'll have to change them later once we get it back down on there. But for the most part, yeah, we're ready to put that gasket on. So here we go. Right, Tim? Yes. Let me set this up here. Torque these things to 165 first. Yeah, 16 minutes. 165 first, and then we're going to torque them all back down to 185. Then we walk away from it for 2 hours and come back. That'll give us a lunch break. Well, I just got back here this morning, and we have had some horrendous weather. I mean, just rain, rain, rain. Almost 5 inches of rain. This engine is dripping with water. I mean, dripping with water. So what I think I'm going to do is actually turn the shop heater on it and evaporate that water off. Tim's going to change the oil in it because when that head gasket blew, it blew antifreeze right down into the oil pan. So look at that. That oil pan looks aluminum. That's actually moisture mixed with oil all over there. It looks kind of white.
Where did all the water come from anyway?
Condensation, Tim. You know what condensation is? So anyways, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll just set you up there and you can watch a while. Not really anything super special going on here. The nice thing is that maybe, just possibly, we will be able to fire this thing up in the next 2 hours. Right, Tim?
Yeah.
So what I got here, I'll put this away. What I've got here is, what you just saw me doing is chasing these threads on these injectors. When I torqued these bolts these injectors were in, it kind of boogered the threads up a little bit. Now, that's not really that big of a deal, just as long as the new nuts on the new lines fit down on there. But the worst one was this one here. Yeah, so you probably couldn't see because I sped this video up, is I've torqued this rocker arm racket down, rocker arm assembly, that's down. Make sure that your push rods are all where they belong. And what I got to do next is actually run a feeler gauge over top of them, which is kind of a tedious job. So, you know, just stay put, hang on, watch the deal go. I sent Timothy down to get me a new fitting for the end of this thing. The nut is okay. The nut's okay, the threads in the nut are okay, but at some point somewhere someone has cross-threaded that. It wasn't me, I never cross-threaded it, but it won't hold the threads on that fitting. So Tim's getting me a new one. And while he's doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit with some starting fluid. That'll take any of this water and oil and crap off of there, because there was a lot of dust. I don't know if you saw in the other video, but from up there it fell down onto everything. And I have since rinsed everything down from the top side of the motor down. It's quite dry. So before I put that valve cover back on there, I'm actually going to run engine oil. I'm going to run that up and down that to lubricate it, because it's going to take a little while to get any oil back up in here. Timothy has drained the oil. There's a lot, and I mean a lot of antifreeze that went down into this engine. So we're going to change this here out too. The oil filter is going to have to be changed out, because I'm sure it's full of antifreeze also. Hopefully I have not done any damage to the engine, but it wasn't under any kind of load. So I highly doubt that there was a problem. But these push rods here, though, they're all, you got to set the gap. It's not much of a gap, but if you don't do it, guess what? It ain't gonna run quite right. .com. So yeah, after that, we're just gonna get her all back together again, and you can watch this thing run, because it's gonna run. We got a lot of things to do. Keep this business rolling. So, anyways, I hope you're enjoying what I'm doing here. I know I'm not the second time around. As you can hear that heater, I know some guys are like, oh wow, must be rich, you know, open up the doors and let the heater run. Well, like I said before, this engine is so full of condensation, I'm just heating it up to get the condensation out of the engine while it's open. It won't really matter, because once I, start it up, the breather, it'll actually just breathe right on out of there. But, I'd rather see a dry engine going in than a wet one. But anyways, thanks for watching, and next part. my battery's running out, so you're not going to see this high-speed thing anymore. What I've got done here so far is we're remounting the valve, steering valve. This is the airbox mount also that mounts the steering valve. You see that thing flops around pretty much there. Mr. Tim has got this thing pretty close to where it needs to be. That's to hold the heat shield there, and the exhaust muffler. The injection pump rails and everything are done. I just have to put the lines back on, which I'm going to do right now, and the muffler. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll get back to you on the startup because my battery's running dead. So yeah, we got a low battery. Give her a crank, then we'll see.